Snipers, you have to see what's happening. The Bitcoin price right now is the S&P 500 formed new yearly lows today, but Bitcoin and the NASDAQ have yet to do so. The two risk-on assets have yet to form new yearly lows. I had to get out this emergency update, Snipers, with a massive hurricane brewing. A massive Category 4 storm is about to hit Florida, where I'm currently staying. And so over the next 48 hours, Snipers, there will be power outages and potentially even tornadoes. I just wanted to let you guys know, just in case. I'll most likely get a video update out because we have the #1 cryptocurrency channel on the internet. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support these updates. So let's dive straight into the content, Snipers, because a lot to talk about today. Bitcoin breaking above 20,000 US dollars only to lose all of those gains. Back around 19,000 as I record this video when the S&P 500 formed new yearly lows. But Bitcoin and the NASDAQ have yet to do so. Are they next? The two risk-on assets have yet to form new yearly lows. And the S&P 500 has an oversold RSI reading right now below 30, which historically in the past has led to short-term bottoms. But the two times that it didn't, we saw massive dumps in 2018 and 2020. Is that going to be one of those times right now? Or is this going to be a short-term bottom, Snipers? Remember, a double bottom is a bottom formation. What's happening next? Well, just a side note, Bitcoin's Binance pairing had the most amount of volume ever. Let's dive straight into the Bitcoin chart before we look at equity markets and the revolving parts. Because what happened to Bitcoin? We've got 4-hour candle confirmations above the major resistance here at 19,417, which, by the way, is still the major resistance, the previous weekly open. But then we immediately saw it push down. This is what we call a leveraged trader's move. This was to clear out long positions. I think we saw over $17 million worth of long positions get cleared out with this push to the downside. And so at this point, 17,204 is still on the table if we cannot get back above the previous weekly open, especially after we saw this type of move. If we don't get back above 19,417, 17,204 is the next target for Bitcoin. We need to conquer that previous weekly open, Snipers. The S&P 500 also forming new yearly lows today. This wasn't a surprise. We had the lowest daily candle close ever yesterday, and now we have new yearly lows. Now, a lot of times when the S&P 500 has oversold RSI like it does right now, it does indicate a short-term bottom, and that could even put the bear trap on the table that we've been talking about, which is a potential double bottom, and that could allow Bitcoin to move up, especially with the DXY facing resistance still here at 114. It's not a coincidence that we are facing some resistance here. You can clearly see it here on the smaller time frames. The 6-hour chart shows it the best. You can see we wicked into this level to only continue to find resistance here, forming higher highs, which is never a positive thing. You typically want to form lower highs, right? And so we do need to monitor this major macro structural resistance for the DXY. There's still a potential here where we could pull back, Snipers. And so this is an important 24 to 48 hours, not just because a massive storm is about to hit me, but because what the charts are telling us, the S&P 500 forming new yearly lows. We need to start monitoring the DXY at this major resistance. Ethereum also pushing above the previous weekly open, only to fall right back below it. 1344 is the major resistance, with 1277 right now as the major support for Ethereum. What's most important, though, is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart holding above 65,000 Satoshis. If we lose 65,000 Satoshis, that would be extremely bearish, Snipers. We do want to monitor that. I think that's extremely important. And then if we look at the NASDAQ and the markets in China, they are in the green right now. And so that is of note. Other than that, Snipers, what I'll say is at this point, for Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, they have yet to form new yearly lows. They are both risk-on assets. This could potentially be the ultimatum for Bitcoin and the NASDAQ to form new yearly lows. I think it would personally be healthy for Bitcoin to come back down and test 17,200 and form for a double bottom. Because the DXY has formed new yearly highs, it would just make sense when we look back at the chart years from now and we say, okay, the DXY is inversely correlated to Bitcoin. It would just make sense for Bitcoin to at least come back down to test that demand zone. And so don't be surprised if Bitcoin comes down to 17,204, especially after the move that we saw over the last 24 hours with Bitcoin moving above that previous weekly open only to fall back down. That is indicative of some potential downside action. and some bears playing games on the charts. So let's continue to monitor this, snipers. This is an important 24 to 48 hours. I will try my best to get a video update out to you guys, but once again, a massive storm is brewing here, about to hit directly over Florida, Category 4, which means tornadoes are on the table and over 140 miles per hour winds. And so let's continue to pray that things are going to be okay, snipers. I appreciate each and every one of you tuned into the channel. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content. And let's monitor Bitcoin, 19,417, the major resistance right now. Yes, we did get above it, but obviously it was a fake out. 8 out of 10 times, the 4-hour candle confirmation will be reliable, but there's always those 2 times that it's not going to be reliable, and that's what happened. So the S&P 500 forming new yearly lows should have been a little bit of an indicator that this move is potentially gonna collapse, and that's exactly what happened. So until next time, snipers, I'll see you guys later. Wish me luck, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Snipers.